All right, guys, let's get started. We have to be fair to the people that are here. So I guess the other people can join us along the way. I will go ahead and record it so that way, if they miss some part, then they can play it back again. All right, so again, this is Cliff, and then you definitely at the right spot. It's work from home secrets, where we're gonna talk about how you can start working from home and pretty much demystify the whole process and show you, the thing that you guys probably didn't know and that are, maybe like some secrets to you and things that I found out the hard way in the past, so you get to pretty much learn about them. All right. Okay, so let's do some housekeeping first. All right, so to make sure that you don't waste your time and definitely for you not to sit here without um, you know being interested in this. I have to be upfront. This is not something that will make you rich. So if you're here because you want to get rich, then this is not the right webinar for you. All right. This will not make you earn $1,000 a day. This is a real customer service job. The only thing you do it remotely. So you do it from home or you do it from any quiet place. If you have an office, I mean, however you want. Okay, and then due to the state laws, we are not hiring in these 7 states: California, Connecticut, Maryland, Mass, New York, Oregon, or Wisconsin. So unfortunately, we cannot hire anybody that resides in these states. But anywhere else, fine. I mean, if you register from a different states, you can travel to these states and work. You just cannot be a resident of these 7 states in order for us to hire you. Hopefully that will change very soon due to this the coronavirus going on. So hopefully the governors for these states will change some laws. All right, and also you have to be 18 years old, and you have to be able to pass a background check. We're gonna get more into that. But if you have a felony, you will not be accepted because we work with only large and big brands that we are all aware of. And our clients, they do a background check on every single agent before they can accept them to work from home because we deal with customers information, real customers information, addresses, phone numbers, and sometimes even more sensitive data depending on the client that we're servicing. So the background check is a must. You have to pass it. Some misdemeanor may pass, but if you have a felony, definitely it won't pass. So there's not really a way for me to know, depending on the type of misdemeanor. You simply have to try. Okay. All right. So again, this webinar is all about working as a customer service agent for a large Fortune 500 company of your choice because you get to decide who you want to work for once you are in the system. It's not one of these things where we're forcing you a specific company. We service different industries, so you get to choose the one that you want. And of course, without having any special talents or skills, because we simply do inbound customer service. We don't call people. We don't try to sell anything to people. Nothing against MLM, but this is not an MLM. You don't have to have people join. This is not what this is about. This is simply real work that you do from home. All right. So you don't need any special skills or talents. Everything that you need to know, you're gonna get training from an instructor online to do the job that you are required to do. And of course, you don't need any expensive equipments because if you have a computer, you can use your existing computer. So you don't need to buy any expensive equipments. Okay, so my goal is pretty much to show you the exact steps to start earning at least $600 to $800 plus. So that's per time per month, working as a customer service for the Fortune 500 companies of your choice. Again, we are required to work at least 15 hours a week because the company that we're servicing, our partner, they only make money when we work. So there's a minimum of 15 hours you need to work per week. We're gonna get more into that later on. And then this is an extra source of income that can help you achieve your financial goals. Maybe better savings and afford a vacation with your family. But honestly, with now, I mean, obviously these slides I have been using them, but with what's going on, then it's definitely the right thing to do, because it's like now everybody's forced to work from home. And of course, like I said, it's harder to at least make that, because you do need to work at least 15 hours a week. So that's kind of like the minimum that you can make. And of course, we have people making 2,500 or 3,000 plus, because they do it full time. So it's really up to you. So you can choose to earn more if you work more, because it's paid hourly and there are no maximum hours as long as they are available. Okay. Um, let's go on to the next slides. I mean, we do have about 30 agents, but of course, people don't like to leave reviews. I gotta talk to them. We gotta do better. So these are a few reviews of current agents that have been working with us. I mean, some of them have been with us for over a year, some couple of months, and obviously we have people joining every single day now. So we definitely got to do better. Um, so, who is this for? And of course, this is for individuals looking to make additional income. And I can say now, this is also for people that maybe unfortunately lost their job due to the coronavirus going on worldwide. Entrepreneurs looking for extra income while maintaining their work-life balance. Individual who can provide quality customer service and stay positive. Stay-at-home parents, military veterans, and spouses. For the military vets, we do have a special program actually, and for the spouse as well. So if you're a military veteran, when you're filling out the application, you have to let us know. All right. So if you stay until the end, I'll have a special bonus for you. So you want to stay until the end, because I do have a small inner circle of very successful agents that are working right now on the platform. Some of them have been with us, like I said, for over a year, many months, and then they pretty much know, what really to do to be successful in working at home. And then also, I will, for a limited time, since I do have a much more time now than I did because of, the whole staying at home. I'll be more than happy to coach some of you one to one. I know some people might have questions. I know sometimes people, like need that extra hand holding to get stuff done. So I'll be more than happy to do that. So I won't be doing too much, of course, when I guess hopefully when things gets back to normal. But at least for now, I'll be more than happy to assist people like on a one-to-one basis. All right. So my name is Cliff Desab, and I've been working from home for the past 3 years. Because my goal was to get a steady paycheck while I'm working on my other small business. And pretty much my friends make jokes like about me all the time, because I've tried so many working from home program until I found one, like almost 4 years ago, that really worked. And I tell you more about that. I'll tell you all my embarrassing stories in a little bit. I work and throughout this program, I've worked for six different Fortune 500 companies within the past 3 years. All right. So of course, I'm no special. I've done a lot of things right. I had my job and got promoted. That was my 9 to 5. So I'm talking about like about 4 years ago. Got my promotion, and then one day I received a calendar invite from my boss. So I was very excited. So I was like, great, I'm gonna get another promotion, because I know things were going all right for me. Then I showed up to work, and like show up to my boss office back then. I was all excited, ready, but then what happened next was really not what I was expecting. So I unfortunately was let go. So I was let go after 8 years of hard labor, So my boss told me that, it had nothing to do with my performance. Of course, I'm a very good employee and I'm always committed. Um, and then it was something that, upper management decision, because they needed to save a few millions of dollars, for the company. So they had to cut back on, a lot of jobs. And then he didn't know nothing about it until, that morning, because, of course, he felt bad because we literally went bawling like, I think 2 days prior to that. So he told me that he didn't know nothing about it. We had a good time 2 days ago. So, if he had known, then it would have been different. So, yeah, they gave me a little box. Then I had to gather all my personal stuff and, at my desk, and I had to leave. Then pretty much this is when the chaos started for me. So I went through, all these different stages in life, like acceptance and depressed and all of that. I pretty much felt like everything, everything that was unfair was coming my way. But one thing for sure is that I wanted to take a different route with my life. I wanted to make an impact on people's life and not simply look for another 9 to 5 and then, for me to be let go again in the next 10 years after working, for so long and committing and all. So I wanted to build a legacy. I really wanted to do something meaningful in people's life. Of course, I wanted to have my own business. That was the only way to do that. And of course, I had no money, right? I technically didn't have any savings because I wasn't really prepared for this. I wasn't expecting it. So pretty much, I discovered things the hard way. So, of course, my success was my pot of gold was at the other side of the bridge, and I felt like there was this huge hole that was in between. I started looking for work that I can do from home without spending a lot of money, and then something that I know that would work, right? So I started looking and looking, ran into Craigslist, all the different websites that you can think of, and like I said, guys, I'm just gonna have to open up here. I mean, I feel embarrassed about these stories, but so I've heard that they inspire people in the past, so I open up a little bit. So I found a few companies. One of them was promising me that I can do envelope stuffing like from home, right? So I sent them $100. They make via like cash money order, right? Payable to cash. And then I waited for weeks and weeks and weeks. Then they sent me something saying that, okay, like this is not a job. This job doesn't exist. You simply have to do the same ad that you saw and then send it to people, and then they'll send you money as well, because this is not a real job. This is pretty much, you pretty much send us $100, then you do the same, and hopefully you find a lot of people out there that'll send you $100 a piece. So of course, this is not me. This is a total waste of money, and I was not about to do this because this is not me. I like to earn my money legally, so I didn't want to do that. Definitely. Then I found another company. It was something about medical billing or coding from home. Then I sent them like $250 for the course. Now they send me like a whole bunch of random materials about learning how to do medical billing and coding. Then I started studying these things, and then when I was like, as I was done, I started calling that number again, and then the number was disconnected. So they just disappeared. So that was another $250. So I did all these other mystery shopping, online surveys, etc., and then of course no success until I found pretty much a platform which is a Rise Virtual Solution, which is one of the partner that we get our contracts from, and this is when I was able to pretty much start working from home. Then yes, I became that. This is exactly what I was looking for. So to me, that's success, right? So I've been doing it for 3+ years. Of course, one of the reasons I wanted to do it is I want to focus on things that matter. I just wanted to be around my family a lot more. I wanted to spend more times with my girls. I have a newborn son. Um, Pretty much he's gonna be 3 months very soon. And I like to travel, so I wanted to travel more without having to ask for my boss to leave and worry about, my 9 to 5. So I can pretty much travel whenever I want to because I make my own schedule and I can go on vacation anytime I want to. And of course, what I do sometimes, I would work a lot the week before I'm going on vacation so that I can earn extra cash. So that's the beauty of this whole working from home thing, and which is now kind of like became normal because of what's going on now, right? um then what is different from this? What makes this different, right? Is because you get to cheat and get things the easy way. Because back then when I was looking for a work from home solution, I couldn't find anyone that can really guide me. So I was pretty much on my own, and that's why I wasted. Honestly, guys, I think I've wasted at least $3,000 in so many different programs out there trying to find work from home. But I didn't give up. I didn't give up, and pretty much that's why they always say like. Pretty much you don't fail until you stop trying. So I kept trying until I found what really worked, right? So you get the exact blueprint of something that works. You get to skip all the stuff that I've been through while chasing something that works, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So like I said, I didn't have anyone to really guide me. So my work from home started in 2017, and then in late 2017, I got promoted as a supervisor because although we're remote, so it's still a structured company. So some people are supervisors. When you work as an agent, you do have a supervisor, and they're there to help you, right? They're there to help you to get better. Um, they're not there. It's not like the typical 9 to 5 where they can fire you. I mean, it's like a contract. Then as long as you do your work, you meet your metrics and you do what you're supposed to do, then you're fine. So your supervisor is someone just like yourself, but it's just like they've been doing it for a while. So they became a supervisor, and then they're there to help agents get better. So they'll listen to your calls. They'll take like calls with you side by side, and then they'll pretty much help you to become better, right? So in 2018, I was a supervisor. Then I resigned as a supervisor, came back as a regular agent because I wanted to be a recruiter instead. Because being a supervisor takes a lot of time. Um, I wanted to focus more on the recruiting, so I started recruiting friends and family, and I really started on a personal level. Then one of my business coaches told me that, since you're helping small business owners, and then you told me that some of them do struggle financially. Then why don't you present this to them, because this might be something that they can do and earn some extra money that can help their business, just like you did. So I started doing that. Then I realized that I could open up to even more people, like, because I realized that people that had their 9 to 5, they could still do this on the side and make some extra cash. Especially, they don't have to really commute and really have a fixed schedule, because you do make your own schedule when you work from home with this company. So pretty much we're working virtual solutions. So we're a virtual company or a virtual call center, and then we offer remote work opportunities for individuals to provide quality customer service for Fortune 500 companies while maintaining a healthy work-life balance, right? So pretty much three secrets that you need to know, right? So secret number one, you work online from home for a large Fortune 500 company of your choice. Once you join, we don't tell you pretty much who you need to work for. You get to choose, because we have companies that are in the um, travel company, cruises, theme parks, rental cars, hotels. These are the companies that we service. Also, some of the brands that you guys do shop at every day. These are the brands that we service. So once you get into the platform, I mean, you'll see all these brands that you guys are familiar with, and you get to choose, right? So secret number two is that you don't need any previous call center experience. If you do have customer service experience, fine. That's even better. It can help you, of course, because you're gonna deal with human. You're gonna deal with people like yourself, and of course, you know you have to deliver a very good customer service experience for these people, and because they send them surveys once in a while, so you want to have good surveys, and you don't need to sell anything, like I said. You don't need to be calling people. We all inbound customer service, and you don't need to enroll anyone in a program. So this is not MLM. You don't need to invest $500. You don't need to do none of that. This is real work that you do from home. And of course, you can imagine right now we're getting swamped with people that want to join because of what's going on. Secret number three is you don't need a big investment to get started or worrying about being scammed, because our partner Arise, they have been in business since 1994. So their story is pretty much that they started the company in 1994. It was really geared toward people that has some type of handicap, right? That's why they started this whole work at home opportunities, right? And then of course over the years, then they realized that a lot of people want to work from home. It wasn't so much about people that are handicapped anymore. Pretty much everybody wanted to join. I mean, at least a large amount. But now it's going to be different, because I think after this, after we go through this as a nation or as a world, then it's going to be different, because now a lot of companies realize that, hey, I mean, we can leverage the work at home and save money. Because the big brands that we service, this is why they do this, because they save money, because they don't have to worry about having a building. They don't have to worry about providing insurance for employees. They don't have to worry about paying taxes because it's a 1099 position. They don't have to worry about a lot of stuff, company culture, employees fighting with each other, having HR and all of that. So, and then us on the other hand, we also benefit from that as well, because there's a lot of spendings that we don't have. We don't have to commute. We don't have to do none of that, right? So it's one of the best really active income available right now, because it's pretty much risk free work at home opportunities, right? And then you get hired as independent contractors to take inbound calls and help customers with account inquiries or people that want to place orders, so on and so forth. And you get started for as little as $20. And let me tell you, the $10 is for your background check. And there's also a training certification you need to go through. We're gonna go into details on that. Now, one thing I realize is that some of our companies right now, they need people so bad that, for instance, their certification training, sometimes there could be like $60 or $70, because of, I guess, the all of the processes and everything else that they got to do to get you on board. They're dropping it to $10, and we have a bunch of opportunities right now. They're like just $10. So pretty much $10 for your background check, which is done by a third party company, and you have to be clean in order to get accepted. That's the only thing that you need to spend upfront, the $10. Then once you spend your $10, you get to be in the system. You choose a company that you want to work for. Then if your background check comes back clean, then you can move forward, right? And like I said, that's why I tell you this is risk free. The only reason why for you to fail a background check, that's if you have a felony. If you have a felony, then don't waste your time. Don't waste your $10, because you won't pass, right? Um, Expectation, pretty much you work at home, you take inbound calls, account inquiries, place orders for customers. You are your own boss. You are pretty much self-employed, so you're flexible, and that's one of the things I love about this, because I get to spend more time with my girls. We travel. I take them, like, we go hiking. I mean, this is really what I wanted, because I mean, to me, I know people do see life differently, but to me, I have one life to live, and I want to spend as much time as possible with the people that I love. So um, and I that's one thing I really enjoy about it. And then you get to choose the industry that you want to service. You make your own schedule. So no traveling or commute. And this is what I tell people: when you have an 8-hour job working for a company, you have to commute every day. So it's really not an 8-hour job. It's more like a 12-hour job, because you gotta get up, you gotta get ready, you gotta commute, you gotta get stuck in traffic. So before you know it, by the time you leave your home and come back, that's 12 hours. Now, if you work from home, you can start working the minute that you get off your bed. So really, you can work more than 8 hours if you want. And when you think about it, the amount of money that you make also on your 9 to 5, you're not counting the hours that you're commuting, and most of the time you don't get paid for them. But then if you decide to work maybe that 10 to 12 hours from home, you get paid for the entire 12 hours, right? And there are no income limit, there are no income cap. Some the minimum hours are 15 hours a week, and then there's no max. As long as the hours are available, you can service them. There are no overtime, because this is a contract position. You get a 1099, so you don't get paid for overtime. So you receive a 1099 at the end of the year, right? But the good thing about it also, you can deduct business expenses such as your home office. So the fact that I work from home, I can spend part of my rent toward my tax return, because if you have a 9 to 5, you have a W-2, then of course you should have a home to live. But the fact that I'm conducting my business inside my home, then I can claim part of that, um, you know, in my tax return, and also your internet and stuff. So you need to check with your tax professional. I mean, I have a good one, so sometimes I refer people to her because she's really good. All right, so this is pretty much our structure. So we have our clients, right? Um, we have our partner agency. So our clients are the Fortune 500 companies that we service. Like I said, we have our partner agency. We have a couple of them, but we mostly work with Arise. They're pretty reliable, and we get they always hiring. So we like them a lot. They're right here in Myanmar. So our office is actually 15 minutes away from their office. And we have our company, so we work on virtual solutions, right? So we're the one pretty much hiring the agents and connecting them to the platform. And agent, CSP, which would be you, which is me. These are the people that are working from home, as customer service professionals. So that's what CSP stands for. So once you get on board, then you'll see that you will have a CSP number. So that's what CSP stands for. Everybody get a unique number. It's kind of like your ID number, right? Um, so like I said, our clients are cable communication, cruise line, tax industry, accounting industry, high-end retail, roadside assistance. Actually, we have 3 roadside assistants: home repair, car rental, sporting good, and theme park reservations, right? So once you get on there, and then these are the companies that you will see. And like I said, brands that you guys are familiar with. Um, and we have over 25 of them, and of course the lists have been increasing, and I can imagine now it's gonna increase even more, because now a lot of companies they do realize that they can leverage this work at home, and maybe save money for the company. So qualifications to become an agent: you have to be 18 years or older. You have to communicate clearly and effectively, because you do have to pass a small language assessment. And these are the things that I said you need to do all of that before you get accepted. So it's not one of these things where you have to spend any money before you get accepted. The only thing that you do have to do, there's no way around that, you have to do the background check in order to even get into the system. But everything else, you got to do them before you get accepted. And once you get accepted, that's when you pay that $10, $20, or $30, depending on what the certification course is. Then once you pay that, you're in. You just got to wait for the time for the training, and we're going to talk more about training. So you need to have a basic computer knowledge. So you don't need to be any kind of computer whiz, but of course you need to know how to check your email. You need to know how to at least log into, to a website, because all the work that you're gonna be doing are gonna be from home. Now you will have access, to our clients' network. So you're gonna get like a VPN access that you're gonna log into it once when you're working. You're gonna log into the VPN so that you can get access to the client system and be able to pull up, the customers and put in your notes, put in your interactions, and then if you have to do any type of transfer or whatever, so you get access to all of that. So you need to have a computer. You need to have access to a computer, of course, high-speed internet and a phone line. Now the phone line, back in the days, it used to be only a landline, but now I think all of our clients, they do accept voice over IP. So Vonage, Xfinity, and so on and so forth. Like you could work using these. So again, you have to be able to pass a background check. No felonies, some misdemeanors may pass, some of them, right? And of course, the benefits of working with us is that certification completion incentive, 24/7 team support via chat. You make what the client pays. So incentive also for military families, access to education seminars, top performer incentive. Sometimes there are bonuses because of your performance. And then also you can service more than one client. So what right now we have some agents that have more than one client. The reason why they do that is because sometimes they can only find, they find like, they have like a hard time of fighting 40 hours from just one client. So what they do is they do two clients. That way they can find maybe 20 hours from this one client number one, and then they'll do another 20 to 25 clients from client number two. But what I always tell people, don't do two trainings at the same time, because all of the clients trainings are pretty fast, because it's not, so they don't spend like 90 days with you. So the trainings are fast, so you go through a lot. So I always recommend people to do one, start working, be comfortable with the first one. Then if this is something that you want to do full time, then do the second one while you're working for one, do the second training. But don't try to do two trainings at the same time. I know some people that got burned like that, and they just couldn't do it because it was too much for them to learn how to service two companies at the same time, two different trainings. You are paid. It's bad. You are paid on the first and the 15th of the month, and that's through direct deposit. And we're gonna get more into payroll. I think on the next slide. So this is the rates of pay. Like I said, no income cap, no max. The minimum hours are 15 hours per week, because again, this is not one of these things where they're trying to scam you for money. The only way we all make money is when our agents work. When we work, that's when we all make money. I make money when I work. You make money when you work. Arise make money when you work, because these companies are sending the calls over. When we don't answer these calls, we don't get paid. So the minimum hours per week are 15 hours. If you don't have 15 hours per week, then this won't work. And then of course there are no max, right? You can work as many hours as you want. And of course sometimes it varies with your performance. So if sometimes if your performance is bad, meaning you're only getting bad surveys all the time, the system might put a cap on you, and then of course your supervisor would be working with you, because they get the report, and then their job is to make you better, to make you become better, a better agent. They pretty much coach you, because you become supervisor when you kind of like when you're very familiar with the system. So their job is to make you better, right? So now for payroll, right? So you get paid every 2 weeks via direct deposit. So for the payroll fees, you do have $50 per paycheck. That means every 2 weeks, every pay cycle, right? And these are the deductions only when you work. So if you don't work, that means there are no paycheck, then these fees does not apply. So it's a total of $50. And then the breakdown is that Arise will charge you $20 per pay cycle. That's for the platform usage. right? And then work-home admin fees. These fees are for our admin, ongoing support, payroll. So let's say if you earn $700 for for a cycle, which is 2 weeks, your direct deposit is gonna be $650, right? So if you make $500 for a pay cycle, your direct deposit is going to be $450. So there are no other deductions because we do not deduct social security or insurance, nothing else, because like I said, this is a 1099 position. So you do have a payroll fees of $50. Now if you go on vacation, you don't work for 2 weeks, then the fees does not apply. So it's only when you work, right? The rates of pay varies per client. Once you're on the system, then you'll realize that, of course, the different client, they pay differently. Now, the range are between $10 an hour to $18 an hour. And of course, I know everybody want the $18 an hour. The reality is that they're not always available because a lot of time they have enough. They have the people that they need, and then they're not always doing hiring. For instance, right now I was in the system right before this webinar. I know we have one right now that's $14 an hour. We have another one that's 12.50. I mean, we have different clients on there, right? And then it changes every day. So that's why I always tell people register, get your background check done, and then you can see because opportunities can come at any time. So tomorrow I might wake up and I see, there's XYZ client that are looking for agents, and then they usually do it ahead of time. So that means if they want to start their certification class in about 3 weeks, right? They'll post it like 3 weeks in advance, and then whenever that class is full, then they'll just remove that opportunity in the platform, right? And again, it's hourly pay. um, we pay you whatever the client pays, meaning if the client pays $15 an hour, we pay you $15 an hour, and then we only get that $30 from the paycheck, and then the $20 from a rise. All right. And then some positions consist of upsell, and then you can earn extra commission with that. For instance, we have like theme parks, cruises. Let's say, customer might call you because they want to change something with their reservation. They want to add one family member. Then there might be a case where you might tell them, okay, like, since you're gonna have more people, then I can upgrade you to this room because you're gonna be more comfortable. Then if they say yes, then you upgrade them, then you make like an extra bonus. But it's up to you. If you want to work for a company like that, you still get paid hourly, and then you get the incentive. I've never serviced any one of these companies, but I guess we do have agents that work for them, of course, and I see that they get bonuses here and there. So I don't know a whole lot about them, but they're a client just like any other client. So everybody's fine. Are you guys good? We're gonna leave the questions, toward the end. So thank you again for showing up. So then again, let's go. Let's talk about the certification course details, right? And like I said, certification can cost between $19 to $100, depending on the client, right? And a lot of them now, I see they're dropping their prices. I don't know if because maybe they want to allow more people to work because they see what's going on. But I see a lot of them just drop it to $9.99. So once you're on there, then you get to see it. Then again, you don't get to pay any of that until you're done with all the assessment, until you are accepted. So you cannot lose that certification call, that's certification payment, because if you fail the language assessment or their basic assessment, then you don't get qualified. Then you can they're not gonna ask you to pay anything. And then of course, if you fail the assessment for one client, you could always try another one, and you can even try the same client again when they post something in the future, and it could be the next day. So as long as it's a different class, you just cannot do it again for the same class. So let's say you're servicing XYZ rental car. I mean, you're interested in XYZ rental car. You click on it, you do the assessment, you fail, then of course you cannot try for that same class. But let's say if they need more people, because some clients you'll see that they have 2 to 3 classes on there, it's because they need that these are the amount of people that they need. Next day they post something else, then you get to you can always go back again and try again. And of course, the trainings have 3 different phases. Phase one, you're in the class with an instructor, right, and other students. So it's usually between 1 to 2 weeks. So phase one, this is when you're in a virtual class. It's online with a teacher, and then you have to commit to a specific time because you do get to do your own schedule once you start working. Um, Phase 2 and 3, it's still training, but you are on the phone with real customers, right? And then you're pretty much they pay you. So it's called paid as you learn, but it's still training. You still got to make sure that you deliver really good service because these are the calls that they're going to listen to know that if you're certified or not. But like I said, most people they're usually fine with this because this is not rocket science, guys. This is just customer service. You just got to follow instructions because the clients they have their guideline pretty straightforward. You do have chat rooms if you need information, if you need to, if you get stuck. So you pretty much have a chat room like you can go and ask questions. So all the trainings are virtual, and then you're an instructor. You get access to the client's real system, and trainings have specific time. So if you choose 9 to 2, so you're gonna have to show up every day, Monday to Friday, from 9 to 2 until trainings is done. When training is done, then you make your own schedule. So you decide the day that we're gonna work. You decide the hours that you wanna work. So let's say you can schedule yourself to work on Monday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. You might choose on Tuesday, you work from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. So you then make your own schedule. And then of course you get the proper training and tools you need to service the customer. Isn't that awesome, guys? You see yourself doing that? Yes or no? Let me see. I want to see some yes, 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 yes. All right. So that's pretty much it. And of course, one thing I wanna encourage you all to go ahead and apply. Um, Again, the website to apply is workhomeonline.com/apply. But I want to take some questions, right? I want to take some questions. Please, I think we have. Let me see. Awesome, awesome. All right. So yeah, we have the question tab. So I don't know if you guys want to ask some questions. Let me see. I see some in the chat. All right. All right. Marisol, Johnny, Lens. Thank you guys. Danielle. Anybody has questions? I want to answer your questions right now. So um, let me see. Oh, Terry, yeah. Terry, fortunately, I have my phone right next to me and I see your question. Not sure if this is an answer. I never worked for them, but I had all my access information. I end up, all right, so, which I'm willing to do, need some guidance. Terry, no problem at all. You can, you see that email, the hello@workhomeonline.com. Go ahead and send us an email, either myself or someone on the team will guide you on how you can get started. So if you already have, we can help you get on board. That's fine. No problem, Terry. Anyone else has questions? When can you start? As soon as possible. I encourage all of you to apply right now. Let's say you know that you're not ready because you need to purchase a computer. I would still encourage you to apply because here's what happened, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I do see that they are canceling some of the April classes, and I can imagine why. We all can imagine why, but of course, it's good to get in there and reserve your spot. Some of these classes, I mean, I do still see There are quite a few that are still in April, but some of our clients also, they're pushing their trainings for May, like beginning of May. So the sooner the better. It's not an overnight process. You just have to be patient. And again, my team and I, we're here to guide you. We're here to pretty much guide you toward the process. And this is one of these things. I'm not telling you to do something that I don't know myself or I have not experienced myself. I still work from home myself. I've been doing it for almost 4 years, so I know exactly what you need to do, and what what works, what doesn't work, so on and so forth. So I remember you said taking the tax. Let's say the paycheck is for 50 tax. Since they don't take taxes. uh, Okay, so Daniela, yeah, no taxes. You do have $50 deductions. This is not for tax purposes. So you have $30 for the admin fee, and you have $20 for the platform fee, the technology. So let's say your paycheck is 450, your direct deposit will be 400, but you don't pay taxes. You get a 1099 at the end of the year. And of course, the 1099 will be for the amount minus the fees. So let's say if you had, I mean, for example, you had a 1099 for, so we paid you $400. Your 1099 will be for $400, not 450, because the $50 were for your agent fees. Marisol, send us an email. Maybe you could contact them, and then you can we could see how we can help you. I mean, we've seen situations like that before, so you can go ahead and send us an email. Can I use a Chrome computer, Daniel Jennings? I don't think so, because you have to download some software like the VPN software and all. I know that one of our clients actually do have a Chrome computer, but that client, they send you the computer themselves. They send you their own computer, and it's a Chrome computer. But any other clients, you want a Windows computer. Some clients do accept Mac, but not all of them. So to be on the safe side, Windows computer definitely, and it could be a laptop or desktop. I do recommend desktop because, at least for me, with the amount of hours that I spend in front of the computer, I wouldn't be able to spend it in front of like a laptop. And I like my keyboard and mouse. So what I used to do back then when I started, I had my laptop, but I bought like an external, regular mouse and keyboard plugged into it, and I added an extra monitor to my laptop so that I could be a lot more comfortable. But I like the desktop is a lot better, and it's one of these things where I always tell people, if you have a laptop, then you get started. Then once you start getting your paychecks, then you buy a desktop. I mean, desktops are pretty cheap nowadays. So will that be on each paycheck? Every week? You get paid every 2 weeks, Daniela. You get paid every 2 weeks, so it's every time you get paid. So it's twice a month. So the fees are twice a month every time you get paid. But it's only per agent. So if you service 2 clients, you only get the fees once. So for instance, we have people that service 2 clients, and of course their paychecks are, somewhere like 1,500 or 1,700, for the 2 weeks. They also get the $50 deduction. So it's not per client, it's per agent. So you can service 2 clients. Some people even service 3 clients because they really like, some do it two to 3 clients. It's also $50 deduction. Let me see if we have more questions. Guys, keep the questions coming. I don't mind answering them. Um, yes, Daniela, so every 2 weeks. Daniel Jennings, I have to buy a new one then. Yeah, yeah. And what you could do is, I don't know, maybe get on a family member computer, start the process, because the thing is, you register right now, it might take 2 to 3 weeks before your class start. So you're really not gonna need the computer until the training starts. So But it's up to you, really. I mean, I would do that. I would just go out and buy a computer. But another way you can do it is just try to sign up using someone's computer, like a family member, and then you'll have enough time in between to to get yourself a computer before training starts. All right, guys, any more questions? Any more questions? I'll be more than happy to answer them. And also, the link to apply is right here on the screen, right? So it's workhomeonline.com. It's workhome, home without the H, / apply. And our email is on there and phone number as well. And guys, I'm gonna do something. This is really personal. So although I know this is the investment for this is very like minimal, if you cannot join really because you don't have $40 to $50 to invest in this, which I can understand. If you apply tonight, because you can apply to this link, you're not gonna be asked to do the background check. Background check is the next step after this application, because this application has to be approved first. We have to make sure that you're in the US and all that. So if for any reason why you cannot afford this, I'm willing on helping 5 people. Like, that's me doing it personally. Just send us an email, and then I'll get in touch with you. And then of course you have to promise me that you're serious about it, and then once you start getting paid, then you pay me back. But I cannot do no more than 5 people. So the first 5 people, and you have to need it. So if you have money, then please, like, leave the spot for someone else, because there are some people right now, they're in really really bad conditions due to this coronavirus going on. And some of them, they had to spend their last paycheck. Fortunately for me and for the agents that are in the platform, we didn't lose our jobs because we've been working from home forever, right? And I mean, of course, we get affected because some of the clients, they reduce their hours, the amount of hours that we can work. But at least we're still working. I mean, we still have money coming in. So that's me on a personal level. If you really cannot do this because you don't have 40, you don't have $50, I don't mind taking the risks. I just cannot do it for all of you. But if you really have hardship, then I'll do it, right? Let me see. We have a few more questions. If I already have IND and pass the background check, what is the next step? So, Mary, you have to log in, and then you'll see all of the clients that are accepting agents at this time, and you just sign up for one and you do the assessment. So if you want more details, send me an email. I'll get on the phone with you and explain a lot more. But if you already passed the background check, congrats. All you have to do now is just log in and see who's hiring. Click on the info tab. So for each client, you're gonna see an info tab. So click on the info tab so that you can see what you're gonna be doing for that client, and then you make your choice who you want to work for. That's the beauty of this. You get to work for whoever you want. So Daniela, the fee will be each time you get paid. And I know you said 13 to 18 based on experience. No, it's not based on experience. It's really based on the clients. So once you're an agent, we all get paid the same. So it really depends on the client, who's hiring at the time. So it's not based on experience. And of course, later on, a couple of months from now, a year from now, if you get really comfortable, if they have a supervisor position open, you can apply for it. And then, if you get it, then, you make extra. So I don't do the hiring for supervisors. That's done at a higher level. But then you can become a supervisor. But the rate, the pay rate, is not with experience. How much will I pay in total before I start working? Um, Rakael, it depends. Like I said, you can join as little as $20. The first $10 are gonna be for your background check. The other $10 or $20 or whatever, that's gonna be for the certification. Then again, this is, I guess, for them to for for the training since they have to pay the instructor. But it's the point is for people to get on board and start working. So that's it depends, Raquel. So it could be 20, it could be 30, but it's not gonna be. I don't. There's not a client on there that's more than $50 for the certification training, and some of them, like a bunch of them, they drop it to $10. So the people that are already on the platform, I mean, you kind of like know what I'm talking about. So Daniela, yeah, send me an email, Daniela. You could send it to hello, and then I'll connect with you via my email, or I'll call you. It's not gonna be from this number. It's gonna be from my cell phone number, my company phone number, and then I can help you, Daniela. Can I work night shift, Raquel's? Not all clients have night shift. Some of them do, but it's not too common. There are some night clients, especially the road assistants, but it's not a whole lot, right? So you might not be able to get that. I don't see that all the time. So, if that's the only thing that you can do, you might have a hard time finding these hours. And the good thing is also, once you're in the system, after you pass your background check, you could click on the info tab for each client. Then you can see the hours that they are, pretty much the hours that are available to service. So it'll say, like, from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. So most of the clients, we don't service them past 11 p.m., but we do have clients that we service like overnight as well, but they're not a lot. So you might have a hard time. I mean, it's up to you. um, it's not impossible. So it's only gonna cost you $10 to get into the system, like to run your background check, and then you can keep checking until something comes along. Then you can just apply for it. Daniela, send me an email. Send me an email, and then we can talk. I don't mind. I can help you. I can help you get on board. All right, guys. Any more questions? Let me see. All right, so Mary had to go, to work. All right, thanks for the information. Thank you. All right, Mary, no problem. Mary, Mike G, no problem. Let me see. Joining in late. Yvette, I will. Oh, Jenny, let me see. What is the hourly pay? The hourly pay is from 10 to 18. All right, Yvette, it's from 10 to 18. It depends on who's hiring at the time. So I cannot promise you that you'll find someone that's paying, like a client that's paying 18. It's kind of like a first come first serve, and also who's hiring at the time, because guys, the truth is that it's not unlimited hiring. So they're only hiring because they need people. Because here's the thing, like some people do this for just a few months. Like I have my cousin, he did it because he was gonna get married. He worked like crazy, so he made an extra, $2,000 like per month. So he did that for like a few months. I mean, he had his regular 9 to 5, then left. Of course, like he regret it now because he has to go to like training again, because right now he's not even working anymore. But he's gonna get back. It's just that if he didn't leave, then he would still be working right now. So after background check, when do I start? Raquel, so you're gonna see that information. Like it depends on when that the training is starting with the client. You're actually gonna see that right then and there. Like it's the once you look at the list of the clients, it's gonna state it on there, like one of the first information, class start, and then you'll see the date. So depending on who you choose. So for instance, some classes are starting April 15, April 21st. We do have classes also, the home improvement client. Um, they're starting May 18th. So different times, really. I mean, it's a whole list. So I wish I could just log in and show you guys, but they don't want me to do that. They don't want to expose their clients. I guess that's kind of like like their contract with the clients. They cannot expose the clients. So you get to see it once you go in there, and once you go in there, you'll see these are places where you guys shop at. You know, these are large brands that we all know. Um, so, any more questions for me? Any more questions? Um, and again, you guys feel free to apply. The link is on the screen. And if you have any specific questions, then feel free to send an email. Let me see. When you say class, do you mean we're going in a place, or it will be over the phone or this app? No, Daniela, it's gonna be online. It's gonna be a similar app to this. I think they use I think it's GoToWebinar, but yeah, very similar to this. So you'll have a teacher, you'll have a place where you log in to do your because you're gonna have to do some classwork, which is pretty much the stuff that you're gonna be doing when you're working. So you don't go to a place, it's online. Everything we do is online from the day that you sign in until the day that you start servicing clients. Everything is online. Well, the only time that you have to go to a place, but that's gonna be a local place in your area. Some clients do require a drug test. Not all of them, but some of them do require a drug test, and that's part of the money that you pay for the certification. So even if you pay $10 for certification, that includes the drug test. So they pay the drug test. They will just give you a list of places in your area where you can go, and then you just show up, you take the drug test, and then they'll send them the results. So yeah, it's one of the things that I forgot to tell you guys. So some of them require a drug test, and this is something that you do in like 5 minutes. So you just go to the local place. Do we wait till April to apply? No, Raquel, I would apply right now because, like I said, things like new opportunities come every day. So they'll disappear and they'll come. And most classes they pretty much fill up pretty quick. So, I mean, you'll realize that once you get into the system, then you realize that today you see Lowe's hiring, the next day you go back to the system and you don't see it anymore. Well, it's only because they needed 30 people and then 30 people applied. 30 people applied and maybe 30 of them, they all passed the assessment. Sometimes you will see like it would show up again. Sometimes I guess if 30 people applied and then maybe only 25 passed the assessment, then they have like five more spots. So you'll see it again. But then once these spots are filled, then they'll disappear again. So it doesn't cost much to apply as soon as possible. So you have to reserve your spot. Because once you are confirmed for certification, then that's when you know that okay, like you're ready to go. All you have to do is just wait for the time to show up in class, and then a week before certification, you're gonna get the instructor is going to email you, gonna present himself or herself, will give you some pre-work of a few stuff that you can start reading about the company, and maybe like some of the stuff that they're going to be using in class, some of the stuff that they want you to be to familiarize yourself with. So but I work 8 to 4 p.m. now. What time will the training start? Yeah, they have different time for the training. So once you choose a client, then you will see the time that they have available. So if they don't have any time, the time that you want, because here's what happened. You can find a client and then the training time that you want is not available. Then you just have to wait for, you just have to go to another client or wait for that same client to maybe having another opening in the future. So trainings, there are different time slots for the training. We have morning and evening. So we do have trainings from 6 to 9 or 6 to 10, depending on the client. So trainings are usually 3 to 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday. So yeah, we do have 6 to 9 and 6 to 10 trainings. But if these spots are already like are full, then you have to just go to another client. So that's why I said the sooner the better you're in the system, because if an opportunity come today, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find the time that you want. But a week later, maybe the 6 to 9 or the 6 to 10 won't be available anymore. I mean, you might only find 8 a.m. to 10 or to 11, 1 p.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. So you have to get into the system as soon as you can if you're really serious about it. And so yeah, it doesn't matter, Daniela. Just put the name of the person that referred you. If you learned it from me, then just put Cliff. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Raquel, 6 to 9 will work for me. Okay, yes, yeah. So like I said, you just have to be in there. You have to select it, and then you'll see like it's right in front of you. So you just have to get in there and keep checking until you find a client. And then, like I said, like new opportunities come every day. And then find the training time that you want. That's what I did too. 6 to 9 was the always like was the training that was good for me because I do and even work. That's kind of like the time that I work because I do some other stuff throughout the day, and then I usually work from like 5 to 10, 5 to 9. Um, Now it's different because I have a lot more time because I get to stay at home a lot more now. All right. So, any more questions, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I want to thank you guys so much for showing up. I'm very excited to be spreading, the words. I'm very excited to pass on that information to you guys. And it's always my biggest satisfaction is that when people get their first paycheck, and they always send me that message like, wow, like I'm so happy I got paid. Because it's like like there are so many scams out there. Even though like people start working, they always have this thing in the back of their head. But when they get that first paycheck, it's usually like overly joyed. All right. So been looking for some minutes for years. Raquel, same with me, man. It's just that um I had to go through so much. I had to go through so much, and honestly, I went through a lot before finding something that worked. I spent thousands of dollars like a stupid idiot. At least that's how I feel. Because looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Like to just because of course I didn't go on Google. I didn't look for reviews. Like I got a lot smarter, like smarter now. Like if I want to know if something is a scam, then I go out and look for reviews and all. So it is what it is. I mean, the good thing is that I didn't stop trying, and that's why I always tell people, and that's why, that's what I'm really gonna teach my kids. Like, you really won't fail unless you stop trying, because you keep trying, then you just learn from your past experiences. I won't even say failures. Then eventually you're gonna get to where you need to be, and that's kind of like with everything in life, personal, business, career, or whatever. So. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I see we don't have any more questions. Again, thank you for your time. Um, Again, do send me an email if you have any questions. If you did not, if you showed up late, I can send you the recording. I did record the session. I'll go ahead and send you the recording. Okay. Again, Guy, thank you so much, and I hopefully will see you guys as an agent very soon. Thank you again.